Hello everyone and welcome to another Ratio1 Talks. My name is Mihai and today we are joined by Andrei, Petrica, Vitalii and Ale. Welcome everyone. Today we have another fun topic to openly discuss. We have also a small little demo and Ale, you're going to have center stage on that discussion. But let's start out with a simple question. What are CStore and R1FS? I know we know. I throw it to you, Vitalii.
Oh, thank you. I think Petrica raised his hand. He got excited when he heard about it, no?
If you want to jump in, I'm willing to hear more from each of you. Actually, how about this? One of you take the CStore, one take the R1FS.
I was just going to mention that you missed the Bleo. You didn't mention Bleo.
Bleo is working, but yes, Bleo is also with us. Yes. So I didn't exclude you. You are just focusing on some work. Say what?
I'm just invisible.
No, you're not. You're coding there. I can clearly see that you're working. All right, so let's start with this broader subject. So let's talk about this.
CStore is a distributed key value store. It allows you writing any data you need for your application. The beauty of this is when you have your application deployed on multiple nodes, you can write some data on your node which is located in the United States, and in a blink, this data becomes available on your node in Europe. So it works pretty quickly. It's consistent, and you always have data up to date on all your nodes, which is great. R1FS is a distributed file system. It's basically a wrapper around IPFS. We call it sometimes IPFS on steroids because it's our own implementation, which made it more beautiful, more secured, because all data you write here is encrypted by default. Oh yeah, as well as for CStore, all data is encrypted, and only nodes which are in whitelist, on which your app is actually running, have access to this data. And in R1FS, you can write any documents, any files you need in order to make your application to run. And yeah, it works as well in peer-to-peer mode, which is the beauty of distributed systems. Anything to add, Petrica, I think?
Yeah, I was just going to stop you from leaking information about our new framework we are working on. So please refrain from peer-to-peer, anything that's close to peer-to-peer, because we are going to reveal soon the new framework we are working on, hopefully very soon. I think Ale has some news on it for us internally. So
yeah, actually, it's funny that what you are referring to that I cannot spoil. It's actually one of the best use cases that you get to have with R1FS and CStore, and will have been the perfect presentation for today's demo.
I'm sure we will have another demo on that one, and I think it's important to mention that in the future, very close future, let's say, we as individuals or close friends of the protocol, developers of the protocol, and further developers that we want to attract by organizing hackathons, will build some small applications that will make a good example of why this protocol is amazing and how it works, and they will become available as open source frameworks for people to even try their own spin-off of the framework. What we know for sure is that we are working on some of them. Some of them will become available very soon, and I'm looking forward to actually having a demo on the one that I'm speaking of, and that I don't want to spoil.
I was waiting for you to say something that will make it important for the ecosystem, even for outsiders that will want to use that are not on Ratio1 or not directly interested, and how they will still help the ecosystem. But I see you don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
We still have some things to announce, and we're building towards them, and that's the whole point. We have that's why we're doing these talks, not only to invite questions from the community, but also let a little bit behind the scenes and updates for what's coming as well. But you can proceed with the continuation of the question, because or is there anything else to add to CStore and R1FS description?
No, I think it's a good explanation of it, and I think what's important to mention is that both technologies allow building a lot with privacy in mind and with security of your data at the top level. So from this one, you can think of anything from storage applications that require privacy and verifiable encryption, that nobody can access your information. And this is also applicable to applications that, for example, have very important data. You can think of the healthcare system that require privacy on the customer's information, and from just these two, like the CStore and the R1FS technologies, you can also think further and reach the federated learning technology. We are also going to have it on the protocol, which is the next level if we think about the healthcare system, and we are endlessly purchasing to try to bring a lot of projects that build around federated learning from the healthcare area.
Yeah, and to continue what you said, Petrica, I think it's these two particular pieces of our ecosystem, of our underlying development and deployment ecosystem, are critical when it comes to multiprocessing, horizontal scaling, and distributed applications. I'm not talking about decentralized applications. I'm talking about distributed applications in decentralized ecosystem. So basically, you have something like a totally decentralized system where you have a totally heterogeneous compute power, different machines on different operating systems in different location, running with different configurations everywhere in the world. And you want to deploy your application maybe on a lot of them, right? Having a distributed application that runs on multiple continents, on multiple regions, in multiple countries. And this application has to use things like application state synchronization, things like coordinating different workers for different jobs, or accessing data, large storage data, for exactly like you said, for training or for other subjects. So you get the storage requirements, you have the distributed storage requirements, you get the distributed and in-memory database requirements that one worker here in Zimbabwe, for example, or in Canada or in Romania writes some data, and almost instantly another one in Singapore or in Washington, D.C. reads that data from the memory. So this is extremely important. Without this, you cannot have modern distributed applications, modern complex applications that you usually run in a cloud-native ecosystem based on Kubernetes.
Yeah, and I would also add the fact that behind all the information regarding the nodes, you also have different entities behind the nodes, which is more important in having the single point of failure removed. So it's not only having nodes geographically distributed, you also have the entities, the interest behind them decentralized. So you don't have one entity owning all the nodes, and if that entity all of a sudden disappears, the whole network breaks, because that will actually kill the network effect. So we actually have many entities behind the node operators, the cloud service provider, and this decentralizes the protocol even more. And soon we will reveal a new feature of the Explorer that you will be able to see the entities. People will be able to actually brand their own node operator business and their own CSP business, so that they will actually show in Explorer, and you will actually see the entities that already are behind the node operating businesses and the cloud service providers.
And adding on top of that, we've seen, what was it, last week, how important it is to not have all the systems running on a single data center.
We won't call it.
Yeah, we've seen what happened, and that's why it's important to have nodes that can be self-hosted. For example, we self-host some of our nodes or on multiple data centers, widespread on all the globe, not just in one region, maybe some in Europe, some in US, in Africa.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's extremely important.
And I think also what is very important, Ale, beside knowing exactly where you have the nodes and running the nodes everywhere, is the fact that you can actually be 100% sure that your data and your processing stays in that region, stays in that area, stays in that country. And this is something that recently, we're not giving names, we've seen that it doesn't really get done very well. So you think your data is in Europe, your healthcare data is in Europe, and your data goes to the United States. Because things happen.
Anyway. Actually, things happen behind the walls, and that's not very nice. I mean, that's the one of the advantages of having an open protocol that's traceable, that is transparent, and that can actually show where your app is running and the uptime and everything in real time.
Now, I would like to also join in, but I do think we need the extra time we have left for today's talk for the demonstration for what Al prepared for us today. So we're going to hop into the explanation and the showcasing now.
Yeah, so what we wanted to show in today's talk session and showcase even more with the latest blogs that we posted, and a new one that is supposed to come in a few hours, maybe when you see this, or it's already out, so it's very soon. What we want to show to everyone is our commitment to help builders that are maybe not close to us to build on Ratio1 and on the primitives that we discussed. And I thank Vitalii for the explanation on what CStore and R1FS are. And we want to make it easy for everyone to build on such primitives and be flawless, just like you can very easily interact with well-known industry standards, whether it is Redis or ePFS, to make some simple examples of technologies that are similar to the one that we've just discussed. So that's why we are going to present today 3 libraries and a sandbox that we've been building for the last weeks. As I said, the blog post from one of them is already public. The other one is coming very soon. We have 2 libraries that are called Edge SDK, which are used to connect to, again, CStore and R1FS, the 2 main APIs that you have access when you decide to deploy on Ratio1 nodes. So you don't just have the full DevOps operations handled for you. You don't just have scalability. You don't just have automatic redeployment when a node goes down, but you also have access to services like these ones. And if you write code on Python, you run it directly on Ratio1 nodes. That's very easy. But for those working with other languages, such as TypeScript and Go, for this example, we've made libraries for you to easily connect and work with those services. So we have Edge SDK ATS, which is the TypeScript library, of course, to integrate whether it is from Node.js, from a Next.js application. You can connect to those services very easily. We'll go a bit deeper in the code a bit later, just to showcase how easy it is to connect. Then we have Edge SDK Go, which is the equivalent for Go language, where again you have access to those two libraries. Of course, the libraries are as you would expect them, so just go get or npm install for TypeScript, and the library is already in your application, easy to integrate. Then we've also built on top of these primitives and these libraries, we've built what we've called CStore R1FS, which is a library that you can use. It's basically plug and play, and you can use it to authenticate your users, to have storage on CStore of all your users with metadata, with encrypted passwords and everything. So this is a plug and play plugin that you can use for authentication. And last but not least, when you want to develop on those services locally, you're probably used to maybe some caching systems like Redis or similars, where you probably spin up a local service to test your APIs, your connections, when you want to integrate your app while it's being built. So that's why we've built the Ratio1 plugin sandbox. This is basically a simulation of the APIs that you can find in Ratio1 nodes that you can run locally. It's just a package that you have to download and install for all operating systems like Linux, Mac, and Windows. You just download this package, you run it, and you have a full sandbox with all the operations you can do on CStore and R1FS, like to get and set key value storages, get all the keys, save a file in R1FS. You can test all the operations that you will normally do in Ratio1 nodes and that your application will do when live in production on nodes. And you can test it locally. You have a very basic CLI tool. I can show it here to you, and if we have some time, we can demonstrate it a bit better. You just start it. It creates two HTTP servers like Ratio1 nodes do, and you just export to environmental variables, and that's it. You have your own sandbox running locally. You can save files. There's a lot more. I know we don't have a lot of time, so I can't demonstrate all of it, but of course, you can find everything in the documentation on the libraries. You have the links on the blogs and everything, so feel free to see a lot more there.
We'll have more of these in the future, more demonstrations, more things to showcase. In the meantime, thank you so much. Any comments or any questions, feel free to contact us through our groups, our Telegram, Discord, here on X, of course. And we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you. Bye-bye.